Welcome to Game 6 of the 8 we will televise this week on the ISC Sports Network. Not the NBA Finals, but in some parts of the state, close. This is the Junior-Senior All-Star Game, the boys edition from Greenfield Central. Tonight's game on ISC presented by the Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know. By Galitko and Daily, work injury lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. By Hamilton Southeastern Schools, helping the students outside of the HSE district. Learn more at hscschools.org. By Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance in Avon. Call Nathan Begley today and let's insurance together. By 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? By Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that opens this fall. Check out unrnkd.com. And by Lawrence Township Schools. Learn more about Lawrence excellence at ltschools.org. Alongside Pete Smith, my name is Greg Rakestraw. What this junior-senior game has turned into from a location standpoint is often a chance for Mr. or Miss Basketball to get one more game in front of the home fans. That is the case tonight for Braylon Mullins here at Greenfield Central.
Yep, and like you said, it's been a tradition. If it's a great fit, we've done it that way. When I did the All-Stars, Tyler Zeller was Mr. Basketball. We went down to the Hatchet House. Unfortunately, they had a swarm of tornadoes that year, and it hurt our crowd. This crowd's going to be pretty nice tonight for the 3 Hancock County players and all the All-Stars and Junior All-Stars we have.
And again, Julius Gizzi of New Pal, Luke Erdl, again, who is the Mr. Basketball favorite out of the junior class and was just phenomenal. Again, Pete, you and I saw the juniors play Kentucky, led by 36 at one point, ended up winning by 11. But the absolute story was Luke Erdl, a junior All-Star game record, 36 on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, give the rest of the stat line.
9 rebounds and 13 assists.
I mean, that's just an unbelievable game for an All-Star game. You don't get usually that many assists, that many dimes, but he was involved in so many scoring plays and just had a wonderful game. We'll see how he does tonight against the kids that are the senior All-Stars that are headed to college.
We spent a good chunk of the girls' game, at least parts of it, talking about, all right, here's who's not here tonight, here's who's injured and not playing. That is not the case for these two teams. A full complement of 12, and again, all healthy bodies for the senior boys All-Star team.
Right, and that's really exciting because that is tricky to do nowadays because the last few years we've lost a few players because their college coaches had want them to be on campus by now. And graciously this year it all worked out well. The only player we're missing is the junior All-Star Steve Reynolds, who has moved out of state.
And with that, we have a full complement of juniors that we can bring to you for tonight. First of all, here are the 6 that played on Sunday. You'll see Luke Erdl, Kai McGrew, Carrion Berry, Justin Curry II, Noah Smith, and Dikembe Shaw. Those young men are all back from Sunday's game. The faces that you will see that are new, Terrence Hayes Jr. of Gary 21st Century, Tyrese Jones of South Bend Riley, Jay Sean Ladd of Ben Davis, Brennan Miller of Lawrence North, Barron Walker of Noblesville, and Nick Shrewsbury of South Bend St. Joseph. There are obviously some pretty familiar names in terms of that group that you're seeing on screen now that are playing in just the one game this week.
Yeah, this is a very talented junior group we have. They have good size. They played really well and shared the ball for about 3 quarters. The team that played Sunday at Charlestown against Kentucky, they kind of let up at the end. It was a bigger victory than what the outcome looked on paper.
Todd Wolfley is the head coach of the Junior All-Stars. He is assisted by Eli Henson, who won the 2A title at Manchester this spring, and now will be the new head coach at Tippecanoe Valley this coming season. So the starters are being introduced after the reserves were introduced earlier. And obviously Luke Erdl got a lot of attention. I thought Kai McGrew looked fantastic as well on Sunday.
Yeah, he's shooting it really well from behind the line, or at least he was on Sunday. And, a little bit of news there. He played for Lawrence North the last 2 years when he moved here from Colorado. This year he is moving and not moving necessarily. He is going to play at Fishers High School as a senior for Coach Garrett Weiniger.
Let's now reference the Indiana Senior All-Stars. Again, Mr. Basketball is Braylon Mullins of Greenfield Central. Mark Zachary did not play this year during the basketball season until the postseason due to injury. But again, based on what he did his first 3 years as a high school basketball player, including playing in 2 state championship games, Mark has been selected to play for the Indiana All-Stars. Stink Robinson, Chase Barnes, Justin Kirby, Michael Cooper, Brady Kaler, Dominique Murphy Jr. from East Chicago Central, Julius Gizzi, Trey Singleton, Kellen Pickett, and Desmond Briscoe. This is a senior all-star team that, Pete, has a lot of length to it.
Yeah, they're very deep with a lot of length. You're absolutely right. We may not have a 6'10" or a 6'11" kid on the roster, but they are long and just can really play some havoc with the length. Now, the challenge will be for Coach Mark Urban, as you see in there, clapping along with Mullins. Braylon gets the largest applause of anybody here, rightfully so, Mr. Basketball. But the challenge is sharing the ball with each other, and that's why we play a junior all-star game against them before they play Kentucky.
Mark Urban is the head coach from Chesterton High School. Chris Hawkins and Jason Spear are the assistant coaches. Steve Cox as the assistant to the coaches on the bench as well. Of course, our buddy Mike Broughton is the executive director of the Indiana All-Stars. Our officiating crew for today's contest, Mike Grunman, Josh Cook, and looks like maybe a bit of a change in one of the locations, but we'll make sure we get those to you on the fly as we go. Good look at Josh Cook there on your screen. Pete, final thoughts before this one goes live.
I'm excited to see how they share the ball. It's always a question with the seniors. The juniors have played together. Half of them have already, so they know each other a little bit from that standpoint. But everything runs around Braylon Mullins when he's on the floor. So he will play the lead guard, I would think, an awful lot, even though he's, as we look at the starters, Singleton's going to start, Zachary's going to start, Stink Robinson's going to start, and Kaler's going to start. Headed to Notre Dame. And
I can win some games in that group, Pete.
Yep, in the crowd tonight, Micah Shrewsbury from Notre Dame. I see Scott Hetty from UIndy here, the head coach there. Probably some other college head coaches here and assistants that we'll see during the contest.
McGrew will jump at center against Kaler of the seniors, and will give the basketball to the juniors to start.
Like they both kind of whiffed on it.
So Ertl, Shaw, Barry, McGrew, and Curry. Basically the same starting five that we saw on Sunday.
Great to see Mark Zachary back on the basketball floor. And we're not going to see him very much after this weekend because he will be playing football at the University of Notre Dame.
Dikembe Shaw hits the triple. Dikembe had 16 against Kentucky on Sunday.
Boy, is his game evolving. And I know Clint Swan, his head coach, is watching up in his home up in Crown Point tonight because he had basketball workouts, but he was in Charlestown on Sunday with Dikembe there.
Well, hello, Coach. How are you? Here's Singleton, of course. He's a legend in Clark County, given what he did in terms of leading Jeffersonville to the state championship for the first time in 32 years. He misses, but Mullins there to collect. Mullins, 33 points a game. The third boys all-star in the history of Greenfield Central High School. Kaler 4-3, and he did not have a great shooting year by his standards as a senior, but that's where he is going to live at Notre Dame.
No, and that's his trademark shot, is that baseline three. He's just made a name for himself down in the metro part of Indianapolis. May not have heard a lot about him because of injuries his senior year, but highly recruited, very talented young man.
Barry from Avon. He ended up getting to play in both games. Originally selected to play just in this one. With the absence of Stephen Reynolds, he ended up getting a chance to play in both of the contests. Had just 2 against Kentucky. And Shaw had 16, Ertl 36, McGrew 23, Curry 10.
I think we're going to see Mullins have a big game tonight. Just his last game in his gym wearing a high school uniform. Got the McDonald's All-American uniform on the end of the gym already for him. That's pretty cool.
Stink Robinson lost the handle. Curry flares out to the wing, which is what he does exceedingly well.
That's his shot also. So a couple guys have already got in their normal routines here.
And Mullins has pogo stick-like hops. Had a chance to talk to his dad, Josh, before the game tonight. All smiles, as he should be. Of course, Josh is an alumnus of Greenfield Central as well.
That's cool. Your son comes here also and has the great career that Josh had also.
And, of course, Josh did not play for the Indiana All-Stars, but was part of an NCAA tournament team in his days playing at IUPUI after spending 2 years at Lincoln Trail in Illinois. So 9-6 for the seniors here in the early going. Curry looking to tie and does.
You know, he started off slow, Greg, down in Charlestown and picked it up the second half. He's starting off fast here.
A blow by Zachary could not finish. Ertl really had to kind of carry the day on Sunday. Hasn't to do that just yet. McGrew and Singleton have had some battles over the last couple of years. Curry, no, but there's McGrew, and Again, you know McGrew's good for a couple of those every time we see him play.
I got to tell you, we saw him play a lot the last 2 years for Lawrence North, and he gets so many dunks in games. Reminds me of Kemp from that standpoint. Sean Kemp, when I coached against him, tons of dunks during games. Just made it look easy.
It'll make the move to Fishers, and I think we're going to have a moving screen on Trey Singleton is the reason for the whistle.
How about the year Singleton had once he got healthy for Jeffersonville, really leading them to that state championship title after having a rough start of the year with the injuries.
Those kids have had a different victory celebration every night down there in Jeffersonville. They've thrown out first pitches at ball games. They have been absolutely shown the love from Southern Indiana. Runner by Curry does not go. Erdl going for the rebound, and it'll be the seniors' ball. Of course, that Jeffersonville group has 3 seniors who are going to play Division I basketball. 2 of the guys are playing here. P.J. Douglas did not make the All-Star team, but he and Cooper will play at Wright State, as will Kellen Pickett, who is in this game from Blackhawk Christian. Trey headed to Northwestern. Curry, undersized defensively.
Yeah, they switched out. McGrew switched out onto Kaler. Curry just gave up the foul without giving up the dunk, which was going to happen most likely. Low 1-4 set on the baseline. Usually steps out. Inbounds passer will come in.
From the logo. He can do that.
How about that game we had this year when New Pal played Greenfield Central? You and I were on the call, and this place was electric. Pretty good crowd tonight, but nothing like that night in December.
We were fire marshal full that evening. Shaw for 3 and makes again.
Boy, his shot's really coming on. I mean, just really evolving into a great triple threat player. Scores all 3 ways.
4th made 3 so far for the juniors. Singleton looking to add to that total for the seniors. Answer is no. And again, Erdl, the rebound. Erdl now will pull, and that too is a 3-point field goal. By the way, the Indiana juniors have won 12 of 53 meetings against their senior counterparts over the years.
Jesus, 12 sounded a pretty large number until you said 53 for the seniors. Good trap.
Mullins surrounded by 3 players, which means somebody's got to be open. Probably was he couldn't see those somebodies.
Yeah, the pressure put on by the 2 defenders there in that trap. Really nice job by carrying Barry from Avon there along with Shaw, and they're going to both take a break here as we have some new players in.
Noah Smith, Terrence Hayes for the Junior All-Stars check in. Julius Gizzy, Mullins on the drive, and Noah Smith. And I get a laugh out of seeing those 2 combined because both their dads played at IUPUI. Now, we're never teammates. They were separated by about a year or 2, but reference Noah's dad, Angelo. Broadcast on Sunday. So Mullins to the line to shoot 2. And a landslide winner in terms as of Indiana's Mr. Basketball. Talked with Braylon yesterday and said, all right, when do you got to be in stores? And he goes, Monday.
Yeah.
See the honorary jersey already on the wall for both Mr. Basketball and as the McDonald's All-American as well.
I'm going to guess he's going to have 35 tonight, Greg. I just have a feeling this home floor. He averaged 32.9, so that's just barely over his season average for his high school team.
Justin Kirby in for the senior All-Stars. Erdl goes flying through and then fires it up and in. Erdl with 6.
What was that sectional matchup? 38-36 did they have in the sectional matchup when Mount Vernon and Greenfield Central played, I think?
Up at Muncie Central,
yeah.
A classic. Of course, Mount Vernon made the semi-state round, lost to Jeffersonville and Trey Singleton, who finds Gizzy. Mullins recovers and connects.
Okay, maybe 40.
Mullins with 8 of the senior 13 of the juniors. The early 7-point lead. Curry for 3. Not that time, and there's Kirby.
Kirby.
Gonna play at Miami of Ohio.
Oh, nice pin.
And Briscoe missed it.
Desmond did a good job, though, at sealing, just couldn't finish.
Briscoe was going to head to Iowa with a coaching change there. He has changed his affiliation. Going to play in the MAC. Going to play at Kent State. Will Desmond.
Battled injuries during the season, but boy, what a great tournament run he led his Flying Tigers to. Coach Hawkins, one of the senior All-Star assistant coaches. Pretty cool he gets to play for him one more weekend, or week, I should say.
Tonight's game presented by the Milan 54 Museum. The Milan 54 Hoosiers Museum houses artifacts and memorabilia of the Milan Muncie Central 1954 championship game and the largest single collection of items from the movie Hoosiers. The museum is open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 until 4. 201 West Carr Street in Milan. Milan54.org has more information.
Kellen Pickett checked in from Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian. He's headed to Wright State. Got the ball right now, number 11.
Saw his head coach Matt Roth at the games on Monday. Mullins again, and it's so smooth. He's got 11 of their 16.
And it's so quick. He's just in that shot pocket so quick. Hard to defend unless you just really are ready to do it.
Whoops. Steal by Gizzy. And Gizzy.
Bank.
Oh, not that time, but bank that time.
Thought he was going to the first time.
The leading scorer in the family and in New Pal history. Those are often intertwined. Ertl for 3, and Ertl is not ready to give the Hancock County spotlight to Braylon Mullins tonight just yet.
No, and I don't think Gizzy is either.
Up and under for Gizzy. That does not go. And Kai McGrew the rebound. And Gizzy's going to play at Indiana Wesleyan. Both of his siblings have played in the Crossroads League, and he will too. Noah Smith, good looking shot for Noah. Noah never could kind of find the rhythm in Charlestown. Good to see him get that first bucket to go.
My overload here on that right side.
Briscoe will pull from the elbow and get the friendly bounce. Briscoe, a 4-year starter for Coach Hawkins at Attucks. He and Chris Hurt both had that lineage at Attucks in the 3A runners-up. Good drive and dish. 3 in the corner does not go for Shrewsbury, but quick hands for Nick, this year's 3A champ. We're seeing Briscoe battled each other in that game that were matched up there on the floor. Smith again, yes.
Boy, he looks so much different than Sunday, doesn't he, Greg? Playing with a little bit more confidence, and a timeout called by the junior All-Stars.
Because it is a
senior All-Stars, I
9-point
should say.
lead for the juniors. Tonight's game brought to us by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. You're getting lots of things like cheering a team on to victory. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance is good at your insurance. That's why Nathan's here to help you think through any question you've got about auto, home, renters, business, or life insurance. Talk to Nathan in person, online, over the phone, 317-507-7871. Or stop by his office, 9821 East US Highway 36 in Avon. Start with Nathan Begley, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and let's insurance together. And congratulations to both Noah Smith of Plainfield and Carrion Berry of Avon for playing in tonight's game.
There's Micah Shrewsbury at the top of your screen. His father, Bill, down there in the Notre Dame pullover. I've sat with Bill at several games over the years. Extremely successful businessman in the Indianapolis area, and watching his grandson get to play for the Junior All-Stars. Right now, Ertl has 11 points. Mullins has 11, if you're keeping score.
Courtesy of Mike Broad. I did not realize, because Micah went to Cathedral, then played at Hanover, and then was a assistant at DePaul, Butler, Purdue, other places.
IUSB.
I didn't realize, you're right, head coach there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he actually grew up in Jeffersonville.
Yes, and he did, because Bill Shrewsbury moved his business to Indianapolis, and that's how Micah came here. Yeah.
Because Mike always used Micah as the one that got away from him. Had some great teams, of course, in those days at Jeffersonville.
Oh, yes, they did.
Kirby got tied up. I'm going to say foul.
I think they're going to get Stink Robinson with a foul, maybe?
So they'll get Miller instead.
Okay.
So Kirby will shoot 2.
Okay, yeah, I see. Let's see, boy. Okay, all right, I'll leave it at that.
So as Kirby shoots 2. Of course, played at Fishers High School, part of Hamilton Southeastern Schools. And for the first time, Hamilton Southeastern Schools are opening their doors to students from outside of the district. At Hamilton Southeastern, excellence starts here. Learn more by going to hseschools.org/enrollment. And congratulations, Justin, on representing Fishers High School in this year's Indiana All-Stars.
Came off the bench most of the year for the Tigers. That's how deep they were till the tournament time.
And to be blunt, I think John Anthony Hall would have been on this team had this not conflicted with the track and field state finals this year, because he's that level of athlete. Brennan Miller. Miller gets the bucket. His LN team will look a little different next year. No Stink Robinson. A couple of other teammates have elected to play their senior year elsewhere also. Pickett at 6'9", and I am fortunate enough I get to see Wright State on a regular basis in the Horizon League. He will fit Clint Sargent's system to a T at Wright State. Shrewsbury 4-3.
Yeah, in regards to Pickett, he reminds me a lot of Luke Zeller, just his mannerisms and the way he plays.
By making buckets, you're absolutely right.
It's a good way of doing it too.
Pickett got back-to-back hoops. Shaw goes right at him, cannot finish. But Shrewsbury, good board. 3 in the corner for Hayes, does not go. Miller always active on the glass, and then Hayes ties up Gizzy, but he'll be called for a foul.
A little bit of hand when he was trying to go for that loose ball.
So Zachary will check back in. Chase Barnes will check in as well. You referenced Scott Hetty being here. That's where Chase is going to go play for Scott at the University of Indianapolis. And by the way, remember Sean Arnold from
Yes,
those Ben Davis teams?
I saw that.
He's playing at UIndy next year.
He's come home from Missouri, right?
I am happy to welcome him to the family of Greyhounds.
Not sure what Stink was trying to do there. I thought he got too far underneath the basket, so he was trying to throw it off the defensive player. Not hard enough, though.
Miller will fire a 3. That does not go. Brennan didn't do as much of that this year for Lawrence North as in previous seasons. Zachary cleared for takeoff, and Mark Zachary.
Speaking of track and field, I would always have enjoyed watching him on the Ben Davis track teams. I would like to have seen him run some track too. He played football, played basketball. I think he was a custodian at times.
I think he did more than most.
Yeah.
Shaw, as does not go in. Briscoe with inside position.
So fast.
He has been one of the state's leading shot blockers this year. Averaged a double-double for Addicts.
Oh, he's got him posted. Yep, couldn't get him.
Cooper in the game as well. And part of that big 3 from Jeffersonville. Barnes gets downhill. Fort Wayne's been really good the last several years, and Barnes scores.
Yeah, see, the Generals have been really good due to him, and he's had some good teammates, don't get me wrong. Not very tall kids, but boy, they all could play together.
Shaw going to work and finishing up and over the 6'9" Pickett.
Averaged 16.2. I bet you averaged about 25 this year.
Zachary to Briscoe. Briscoe asking for a foul, didn't get it.
Or a goaltend, one or the other. I think he wanted the board being slapped.
Shaw from 21 dials it up, and that is Dikembe's 3rd 3.
Oh, no lack of offense in this game, but the juniors keep comfortably leading by about 6 to 10 points here.
Pete, they've scored 39 points in 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, you say, well, that's an all-star game. It's a little troubling for the seniors, frankly.
Yeah. Ooh.
Player slipped, and Briscoe cashes in.
Oh, he tried to front him, and Briscoe, he didn't really push off, but his chest kind of just got him, got his defensive player down there.
That was Barron Walker.
Yeah, Barron Walker from Noblesville.
First time we have called his name this evening. Miller will pull from 16. No. Again, that is certainly within his range.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A chance to make it a 2-score game here for the Indiana seniors. And Pickett can pull from that spot, as evidenced by hitting it. And a timeout to be taken by the Indiana juniors, a 30-second timeout. So Pickett with 7 off the bench. Want to thank our friends at 9-Star. 9-Star certainly well known in these parts here in Hancock County. Who knew that 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in the state? In fact, 9-Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. Find out what some of the others already know and call 9-Star today. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? And 9-Star connects congratulates Indiana Mr. Basketball Braylon Mullins of Greenfield Central on his selection as Indiana Mr. Basketball.
And I had the chance to see 9-Star tonight as I arrived at the gymnasium, or tried to arrive at the gymnasium. A few detours with some road construction that we have all over our great state of Indiana right now, but nice building.
Well, we have, what, 5 C's in Indiana, right?
Yes.
Fall, winter, spring, summer, and road construction.
That could be combined to all those most of the time, but yeah.
There's some overlap there.
Juniors didn't miss too much of a beat with Ertl out.
Shaw got it.
Boy, nice change of hands there. Boy, is he off to a great start. 12 points so far.
Yeah. Ertl's got 11 in like 5 or 6 minutes played. We're sitting here going, we're not seeing as much as Ertl tonight. That's how good he was on Sunday. And he's headed to Purdue. And frankly, when you are committed at that age now, the way the system works, kind of tells you something.
See how long the seniors go without Mullins in the contest. Figured Singleton had to have a touch here pretty soon.
Seniors do have to play 3 times in 4 days. Whoop. As Robinson throws it away. 3 in the corner, does not go. Stink Robinson with the rebounds. What he does so well is rebound from the guard position. But how about those hands by Walker? Poked right back by Singleton. And that'll be a foul on Dikembe Shaw.
Yeah, Stink's going to get a pair at the line. Yeah, that crossover, he's just so fast on his dribble and his crossover there. Good job defensively. As you said, Baron Walker made a quick steal, but Stink found a way to get it back and draw the foul. And the Butler-bound Wildcat, that's what I'm going to call him still, Lawrence North Wildcat, gets a pair.
So as Robinson goes to the line and misses, the Ed Martin Automotive Group wants to congratulate Xavier Robinson for being a part of tonight's game. Same can be said for Brennan Miller, Kai McGrew, and others. When it comes to your next vehicle, Ed Martin is the only name you need to know. Find out more at edmartin.com.
Miller for Miller, meaning Justin Curry checks back in for Baron Walker, his high school teammate the last few years.
Foul going to be called on Robinson.
You know, someone asked me earlier this week, what makes Ertl so good? He's got that arm bar out there, but he never shoves out, but he almost draws you to, okay, go ahead and grab me. I dare you. Kind of like the old battery, the Robert Conrad battery. I dare you to knock us off my shoulder. I dare you to grab my arm. I'm not going to push off with it, but I'm going to keep it out there.
Shaw needing help. Unable to find a teammate in McGrew. Mullins back in and grabs the rebound. And for the first time, Dominique Murphy. Robinson pulls for 3.
Mullins on the assist. Good choice there.
And back to a 3-point game. Robinson staying with Ertl. And McGrew and Singleton have met multiple times the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
But those 2 schools played each other 3 times. Twice in the postseason, this year in the regular season. Curry lost the handle. That was a 3-car pileup that was developing. And eventually, a whistle.
Shaw saved the basket there. Gonna be out of bounds on the sides. You see Dikembe. Averaged 16.2 as a junior, the 6'7" rising senior. Arguably the best player probably coming out of the region this coming season.
Robinson blocked. That was Jay-Sean Ladd from Ben Davis. That's Kaler from Cathedral. And that's Murphy that got knocked to the floor, and Ladd going to be called for the foul. Well, both teams have got a little stagnant offensively. Juniors have scored just 2 points in the last 3 minutes.
Really flowing. Yeah, you're right. It was really flowing well. And then the last 2 or 3 minutes has just been a little bit more stagnant as they've made some lineup changes. Guys getting a little bit tired possibly. And must be the 7th foul. Is that right? Yep. I don't know.
So 1 plus the bonus coming up here.
Yep, no matter what the situation is, 1-1.
So Murphy averaged 22.5 points a game at East Chicago Central.
Yeah, big time score.
Going to play at Bellarmine. And connects. Bellarmine, who now is back to playing games on campus at Knights Hall, which for a handful of years was the home of the Kentucky All-Star Game. One that we broadcast on the ISC Sports Network. One where DeJuan Jones hit a dunk, and I thought the roof was literally going to come down. The audible groan from the fans as he was going up for that is seared into my brain. The no look was a good look.
It was a good look, yeah. He had two choices. Curry was open at the top too, but he never gave up a layup.
Singleton, good catch in traffic. Trey Singleton gets his first bucket.
Yeah, I'd like to see more touches to Trey. I just think he's got a lot more in him. And look what happens, Greg. Seniors on top.
By the way, 11 of the 12 have already scored so far for the Indiana seniors. Well, this timeout presented by our friends at Unranked Hoops. They are partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBL basketball program. Unranked Hoops is dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball. They're a series of skill development programs in Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that'll start in the fall of 2025. Inside the walls, newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis. Unranked will provide opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Check out unranked.com. That's UNRNKD.com. Sign up for email updates.
A good-looking guy in the black shirt, one of the best trainers ever in the state of Indiana, Jeff Franciosi, serving as trainer for the Senior All-Stars. Teaches at Noblesville High School. The trainer at Guerin Catholic, was the state trainer of the year when I was the coach at Noblesville High School back in '93, I want to say. He'll correct me if I'm wrong after watching this. And now we take a look inside the junior huddle. Eli Henson, you mentioned earlier, becomes the new head coach at Tippecanoe Valley. But Todd Wolfley, the head coach from Terre Haute North, down on one knee, trying to get these juniors a little bit more in tune. The last 5 minutes, they have not really done much anything on offense, but they got off to a great start. See if Ertl can get him going here. He's back in the game and sat a long time. There you see Coach Wolfley. Outstanding coach.
Terre Haute North is semi-state this year.
Going to have a good team next year, too.
Yep. Graduated the older of the Wren brothers, but brings back a pretty talented team.
Flex cut backdoor for Ertl.
And good read by Kaler.
Yeah.
Kaler sniffed that one out.
I think McGrew kind of telegraphed it just a hair bit.
And Mullins, are they going to wave that off for hanging on the rim? Saying basically he interfered with the ball going in by.
Here we take a look at it. Yep, you got to call that basket interference. You don't always see that, but you got to call that basket interference because he did hang on the rim, pulled it down a little bit, and consequently the ball, which was not through the cylinder yet, eventually went through the cylinder after he grabbed it. There's a steal. Oh, thought Kaler was going to get that one too.
Barry's runner, and he got fouled.
You know, we've seen now Barry a game and a half, and he's offensively struggled a little bit. He averaged 13-9, so that not necessarily has been his strength. Though they had a great team last season. They had a great season under Drew Schaus. Got beat by Brownsburg in the sectional. Got up to as high as number 2, I think, in the state rankings at one time last year. And Barry's offense needs to step up a little bit more. His shot selection, I think, in the games I've seen him play. But very talented young man, plays hard. He misses both free throws there.
McGrew able to track it down. Hayes at 6'1", trying to go against the 6'8" Singleton.
He had a great season, averaged 20.8 as a junior for Gary 21st.
And they are a tremendous program. Now in 2A. Shot was altered by Kaler.
There's that length you talked about in the pregame, Greg.
And he turns down the baseline 3 to go to the rim and get rid of that just in time.
Singleton with 4 now.
It is a 14-2 run by the Indiana seniors. Deep 3, and there's your 14-2 run right there. Hayes with a triple, his first bucket.
Full court man pressure, 1 defense, which means half court man of the Signals. Originally, they were going to do some full court pressure.
It has been the guys of the core 6 that have carried the freight so far. Mullins dishes, Kaler the recipient.
Yeah, too easy, slow rotation by the juniors there.
Kaler with 7. Ertl, catch and shoot 3, no.
Oh, too good a look. Just couldn't catch it. Didn't catch it with both hands.
Murphy was going to the bucket before he had caught the ball.
Dikembe Shaw comes back in for the juniors. See if he can give them a lift here, down 2.
Want to make sure we thank Jared Manning, who's the AD at Greenfield Central, for being very kind to have us out here tonight. Of course, these programs that get to host an event like this is very much an honor and a showcase event for them. Again, brand new floor here at Greenfield Central that was put in at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, it's beautiful, I got to tell you. It's beautiful.
Fishers was our host on Monday.
Oh,
Ertl.
my.
That's like a mic drill from 15 feet away.
Oh, that's special
and
right
he just
there.
pulled off.
That is special. Coach Painter, you're going to like that player, I think.
There was some geometry involved in that.
The angle he took it. We got a great replay here of this. The angle he took it, gosh, what a beautiful shot. And dead swish almost, just barely touched the rim. Justin Kirby checks back in for the seniors.
So Ertl with 13.
Going to give Murphy a break. Lob play. Nope, Mullins stepped out instead.
Mullins turns and could not finish, but Singleton keeps the possession alive. All of a sudden realized, hey, I'm open, I'll go get it. Mullins got fouled.
You notice Mullins just always has a way of getting the darn ball back somehow. I mean, he's just always around that ball. We're going to miss him in this state. I wish him the best of luck at UConn. I'm going to miss not seeing him play every game, though nowadays with all the media outlets you can, but I'll be excited to track his career and success. I watched him in the McDonald's All-American game, Greg, and he didn't get a lot of touches, poor kid, but that's what happens when you're playing in all-star games sometimes, and I think they missed out on it.
Mullins made his first 2 free throws, missed that one. Connects there.
He's got a dozen now.
Kirby draws him on an Ertl and able to contest that shot.
Pretty good look, but Kirby was right with him.
And again, Singleton's so skilled. It's his ability to do that as a 4.
As a 4-man,
is why
yes.
he's playing in the Big Ten.
Yeah, as a power forward.
He is the old point 4,
Yeah.
He's that type of player. And how about Dikembe Shaw with 16?
He's having a game.
And he had 16 on Sunday as well. Crown Point will play in the Hall of Fame Classic. We're going to play at Carmel as well in December. Coach Swan is making sure they get downstate, which they started doing last year. Kirby for 3, no. Ertl flying down the floor, throw it up top.
Oh.
Right idea, Miller just couldn't finish. Is he being guarded by Tyrese Jones, or Mullins was. Singleton for the baseline, no, with Briscoe. Couldn't finish. Both teams with some good opportunities that they couldn't cash in. From 21, yes sir. Number 21 from 21 feet. Ertl and Shaw each have 16. Kirby, no, but Briscoe gets the tip in, and those guys will play against each other this year in the Mid-American Conference. Shaw, heat check, still warm.
Okay, everyone's hot again. This is how we started the game out, Greg. The first 10 minutes of the game, everyone was just in the flow, scoring easy. Not easy, but making good shots.
Kirby lost the handle. Dennis, you okay down there? Tripod fine? Okay, good.
Dennis Glover is who Greg is referring to on our camera on the baseline.
Thanks to Dennis. Thanks to Eric Kinnett. Thanks to David Kahn, Matthew Stein, Vince Morales, and Alec DeFord. Shot taken, rebound by Kirby. Gizzy on the take. Again, he is old school, mid-range game. He can shoot the 3 too, don't get me wrong, but he will find ways to score and score plenty.
Gizzy on the take, Gizzy on the make.
It's a common refrain, is it not?
Yeah.
Although, frankly, his numbers went down this year, and New Pal was better for it. Not that they struggled. I mean, they made the 4A regional the year before.
And his cousin, Moses Haynes, had a great year as a senior point guard on that team, too.
They'll play at IU Kokomo next year. Briscoe the hustle. Shaw, and timeout called by Coach Wolfley. This timeout brought to us by Brady Laurie and Laurie Law. Brady has been serving the citizens of Marion, Johnson, Hamilton, and surrounding counties for over 25 years. If you or someone you know is in criminal trouble or has been injured, make the call to Brady for a consultation. Let Brady put his negotiating skills and court experience to work for you. Call 317-250-7783 or email BradyJLaurie@gmail.com. Brady Laurie, your criminal defense and personal injury trial lawyer.
I love to see little kids behind the bench, young kids that are watch huddles and just want to be a part of the game. It's starting to be a dying breed sometimes from that standpoint, but these three guys have been into the game that we see behind the junior huddle the entire time. Coach Wolfley.
Well, to your point, Josh Thompson's a good friend of mine, the now head coach at Lagodi and now AD as well, that was an assistant coach last year. And he goes, the experience my son Griff had for a week being around, he goes, you have no idea what it meant to that young man in terms of setting goals for his future as a high school basketball player. He goes, this is how it's done. This is what I want to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now.
And also be a part of state championship team that Bar Reeve had. I remember when they came up to Westfield and I talked to the Bar Reeve team the Thursday before they played, or Friday I think it was, and his son was all over it, loving every minute of it.
And Briscoe, he and Shaw get tangled up.
A little bit aggressive on the sideline, or remain junior basketball, it looks like.
It's a little foul or two to give here. Coming up at halftime, we'll be joined by the executive director of the Indiana All-Stars, Mike Broughton. Brady Kaler will come back in to give Dez a bit of a breather.
Kaler got off to a good start, drained a 3 to open the game. He's got 7 now. Again, his length, you know, he missed a lot of the season this year for the Irish. But boy, the young man's got a lot of ability in him. Back cut. Oh, Brendan Miller's wide open.
Pick and pop for Miller.
Nice play. I like the design. Nice play there.
You should not be surprised that Coach Wolf would drop a really good set out of a timeout. Kaler from 18. No. Tipped one time. No. Singleton. Gizzy for 3.
Got it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Gizzy hitting one here at halftime here to cut the lead to 1. We've got a great basketball game here, Greg.
57-56. Juniors have led most of the way. They lead by 1 at the break. Mike Broughton joins us next. You're watching Indiana All-Star Week, and you're doing it on the ISC Sports Network.
Our service area is actually East Central Indiana. They come to us because we have this unique ability to access specialty care. Our partnerships with St. Vincent Health and Heart Hospital. We have Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, the Mayo Clinic Care Network. We access their resources via the broadband network that we have through 9 Star Connect. It's really all about connectivity. We don't have connectivity except for 9 Star Connect.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, our students excel in welcoming, safe, state-of-the-art facilities. A traditional public school district, Lawrence Township boasts a 95% graduation rate. On the court and in the arts, our students excel. Join the Lawrence Township family, where learners thrive, surrounded by values that resonate with home. Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Halftime of our second game of two. The Indiana seniors beat the Indiana juniors in the girls game earlier. The juniors have led most of the first half. They lead by 1 at halftime. Pete Smith will rejoin in a matter of moments, but now joined by the director of the Indiana All-Stars, of course, part of our team as well on the ISC Sports Network, in Mike Broughton. Mike, your thoughts about your evening here in Greenfield?
It's been great. It's good coming back. Mr. Mullins got a chance to play on the new court before he leaves for Connecticut next week, and this is a beautiful place. They've redone this, and it's fantastic here at Greenfield.
I know the kids, as far as the seniors, got to Marion yesterday, and you were raving about how much of a good bunch of kids you've dealt with these first couple of days.
Yeah, this is a great group. We've had good groups, but this one they have so much fun together. They're a number of 4.0 students, and it's just a group that I just believe in my heart of hearts that the state of Indiana should follow, because this is why we have this game, and this is why we're Indiana. Very smart kids, very intelligent kids. Most of them go in Division I, and they really get along, and they're unselfish.
Thursday, tomorrow, is your day for practice, kind of a team-building activity as well. Then you hop on a bus and get to Lexington. You play Lexington on Friday night. Then you're back here at Gamebridge Fieldhouse on Saturday. What should fans expect when they go to Gamebridge to cheer on Team Indiana on Saturday night?
Well, it's just going to be an NBA-type game with the DJs and the boomer and everything. My grandson said, "Are we going to have googly eyes in the timeouts?" I said yes, and so it's a great evening. It's a cheap evening. You get a ticket for $10 to $12, and we have better tickets, but we're a little behind last year. I know the Pacers are coming back after Sunday, and so it's going to be a big week to maybe win a world championship. But don't forget us. The kids have tried awful hard. It's been a great group. It's been a great season this year in Indiana high school basketball, and I really hope people come out and follow these kids this last game, because they are trying so hard, and they really are proud to represent Indiana, which it's taken us a few years to get to that level, but they really are. So 317-917-2727, and I'll be disappointed if I don't have a good crowd for this game, because, you know, people say, well, it's class sports, we see a lot, but these are the best of the best, and the juniors are really good too. And so every year we're getting a little better at what we do. I've had the same personnel help me for now 7 years. It's a better game than it's been sometimes in the past, maybe not always in the past. There's been some other really good games, but we're putting a good product out. I think it's as good a product as we can since COVID.
No doubt about that.
And so I'm proud of them. So please, 317-917-2727. And we're a few thousand behind what we were a year ago, and we just need people to come out on Saturday. Not everybody's going to get a ticket to see the Pacers in Game 3. So come to this one.
And again, tickets just slightly cheaper on Saturday night. They will be next Wednesday or next Friday.
We have we don't have the upper deck, so you buy a $12 ticket. You're in the middle. It's probably for the NBA Finals. It's probably a $200 ticket. But these kids are trying hard, and I'm just really proud of the state of Indiana. And I've been here a lot of my life, and we are different.
Good to see you as always, my friend.
Thank you.
See you Saturday night. Mike Broughton, again, executive director of the Indiana All-Stars, joins. Took a quick timeout. Juniors back on the floor. Seniors will join them in a matter of moments. Pete Smith rejoins as well. At the break, juniors 57, seniors 56. It's Indiana All-Star Week on the ISC Sports Network.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Hamilton Southeastern is now welcoming students outside of our district.
Whether your child dreams of excelling in the classroom,
exploring in STEM, thriving in arts, or competing in athletics, HSC has it all.
Small class sizes, top-ranked educators, and a focus on academic excellence
makes HSC the perfect place to learn and grow. Apply now through April 1st for priority consideration.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, our students excel in welcoming safe, state-of-the-art facilities. A traditional public school district, Lawrence Township boasts a 95% graduation rate. On the court and in the arts, our students excel. Join the Lawrence Township family, where learners thrive, surrounded by values that resonate with home. Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Pete Smith rejoins. Highlights aplenty. We'll get to numbers in a moment. Pete, your thoughts on half number one?
You know, it was a great offensive display except for about 4.5 minutes there towards the end of the first half. And then, boy, the seniors picked it back up, and the juniors hung in there. They lead by a point. Good play. I'd like to see Mullins have a little bit more touches here this second half. He was pretty much unstoppable, and when he doesn't get touches, he finds a way to get it. But I tell you, Dikembe Shaw, and you just saw Luke Ertl there drain that three, and another one. They've been extremely impressive both games, and particularly tonight.
Yeah, the only guy that's really kind of had a difference from the junior game on Sunday tonight is McGrew, just 2 points for the juniors, but Ertl on pace for 30-plus again. Shaw had 16 in total on Sunday. He's already got 19 points, Pete.
Yeah, they haven't had any answer for him. He steps out and drains the three, strong around the basket. He's off to a great start. The juniors, a really impressive group. For the seniors, they've made a few turnovers, but not too bad. Robinson made a couple turnovers. Stinks only got a three-point basket. I'm talking about Xavier Robinson headed to Butler. But they've done a nice job on the boards overall. When you got Singleton and Pickett and Briscoe in there to dominate the boards, that helps a lot.
Mullins with 12. He's the only player in double digits for the senior All-Stars. Desmond Briscoe, 8. Julius Gizzi, 7. I think Brady Kaler played very well in the first half. He had 7 points as well.
He got off to a really good start. You're right.
We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with more of our halftime show. Again, we put up 50 minutes. We went with the college rules at halftime. A little extended halftime for you tonight. At the break, juniors 57, seniors 56. You're watching Indiana All-Star Week on ISC.
For the first time ever, Hamilton Southeastern Schools is opening its doors
to students residing outside the district.
If you are looking for an award-winning school system
that offers top-tier academics, innovative programs, and endless opportunities,
now is your chance to join us. With more than 21,000 students, HSC is where learning comes to life.
Apply today and become part of a district that's shaping the future. Because at HSC,
excellence starts here.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Our service area is actually East Central Indiana. They come to us because we have this unique ability to access specialty care. Our partnerships with St. Vincent Health and Heart Hospital. We have Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, the Mayo Clinic Care Network. We access their resources via the broadband network that we have through 9-Star Connect. It's really all about connectivity. We don't have connectivity except for 9-Star Connect.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, our students excel in welcoming safe, state-of-the-art facilities. A traditional public school district, Lawrence Township boasts a 95% graduation rate. On the court and in the arts, our students excel. Join the Lawrence Township family, where learners thrive, surrounded by values that resonate with home. Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future.
Again, the boys getting ready for half number 2. Juniors lead this one 57-56. In case you're just joining us, the Indiana senior girls won 81-71. Very balanced scoring in that game. Maya Makaluski 15, Addie Baxter 13, Layla Abdur-Rakib 9, Monique Mitchell 9. Overall impressions as to what we saw from the Indiana senior girls earlier tonight.
They look strong. That they outscored them every quarter or tied every quarter. They're pretty consistent. Jayla Lampley did not play tonight. We expect to see her over the weekend, and that's a pretty good player going to Mississippi State, 6'2", college-bound former LC player. But I was impressed with them. I thought they were pretty good. That's their first game. When I say that, the juniors had played, half of them had played together last weekend when they beat the Kentucky All-Stars. They killed the Kentucky All-Stars. So that was a good junior All-Star team they beat tonight.
Brooke Zartman's 14, Keandria Butler 11, Kiki Holman 10 led the way for the Indiana juniors. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back. Second half action comes your way next from Greenfield. You're watching Indiana All-Star Week on ISC.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Don Carlisle on hand. Not a surprise, see him with both Mark Zachary and Jay Sean Ladd being a part of tonight's festivities. Another solid season for Ben Davis this year. Good crowd on hand as we expected at Greenfield Central night. I want to thank our ISC Sports Network crew, Dennis Glover, Eric Kinnett, Matthew Stein. Thanks to David Kahn, Alec DeFord, and Vince Morales. Get alongside Pete Smith. My name is Greg Rakestraw. We will not have coverage of the games in Kentucky. Jan Bozier and I are back for the Saturday night games at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Girls game at 5 o'clock. Boys game to follow on Saturday. Be sure you join us then. Zachary, Singleton, Robinson. Zachary pulls and connects on the three.
Don't expect that, the first shot of the second half from Mark Zachary when you're down a point, just because that's not necessarily his forte. He does so many other things well.
Same starting five for the juniors. McGrew, Shaw, Shaw foul.
Well, that's a tough one. I thought Gizzy was pretty much straight up on that, but good job by Shaw of using his body to pin him a little bit and get him kind of on his hip. So he's at the will of Shaw trying to get that shot off.
So Shaw gets the free throw. Unranked Hoops is partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBL AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs and Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Find out more when you log on to unranked.com. That's UNRNKD.com.
Pair of free throws by Shaw gives him 21 already here, really early in the second half. Foul going to be on Barry there. Good job trying to deny our Mr. Basketball up at the top of the key, but got a little bit of an arm there. I think that's a good call. Barry's a really good defender. He can really play hard. And Mullins, who had a good first half, don't get me wrong, 12 points, but I don't think he touched the ball as much as I would like to have seen him. And Barry's almost holding him right there, dancing with him.
Floor opens up for Zachary and just lost the handle.
Yeah, he was getting ready to make a backdoor pass. He was telling Trey, that was a good cut. I just couldn't gather the ball in to go ahead and make that back cut pass.
This game, physicality. Ertl for three.
Nice set play there, too. They set him off the weak side screen. When the ball went away from him, they pinned down. He was wide open for that three.
Ertl and Shaw have combined for 40 of the 62. Turnover by the seniors. Just, again, Zachary and Singleton out on the same page. Really a two-point guard lineup with Zachary and Robinson on the floor together. One that can get after you defensively.
I love this. They got some stuff going. They know what they're trying to do, and the trap comes, and good job by Stink Robinson.
And Gizzy will lay it up and in.
Yeah, they were trying to set something up. In an all-star game, you're trying to set something up, and you got a trap coming at you. That makes it difficult.
Shaw, a loss. Mullins tracks it down. Singleton will lay it up and in. 6 for Trey Singleton. That is Mr. Basketball and the runner-up combining on that one. Seniors back in front by 1. Shaw going to work. Got fouled on the way up. Gizzy called for the foul.
Boy, he's got 2 here early to start the third quarter. I mean, not a real tall team out there right now, Greg.
I want to thank our friends at Lawrence Township Schools, voted Indy's best public schools. The Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township is the district of destination where excellence empowers everyone to reach their full potential. I'll tell you more about Lawrence Township in a moment. But Ertl comes in and gets the rebound, and now he will shoot 2. Now we can finish our thoughts on our good friends at Lawrence Township. Through innovation and education, we educate all students through their educational pathways to graduation, college, and career. Learn more about LT, your district of destination, at ltschools.org. And congratulations to both Xavier Robinson and Brennan Miller for playing in tonight's game.
Ertl gets the second. Token full court pressure by the juniors. Yeah, this senior team's not very big out there. Singleton, the tallest player out there at 6'8". Got Mullins at 6'5", and then you're pretty small as a group.
Robinson blocked by Ertl. McGrew the rebound, able to hang on to it with Mullins lurking in the background. McGrew will fire a 3, and again, if he's making that on the regular, good night.
Yeah, that's what we saw down at Charlestown last week. He had 3 threes, as I remember.
If you have to guard him for 20 feet, you're not going to guard him. Singleton for 3 answers. And Singleton, a good three-point shooter, not a frequent three-point shooter in his days at Jeffersonville.
Well, he had great guards, too. He played with in high school, as we talked about in the first half. Cooper being one of them that's on this all-star team.
Zachary doing what he does defensively. Shaw and Gizzy get tied up.
Dikembe may have forced the issue a little bit there, and Gizzy was not going to give in. It will remain junior basketball, though.
That was irresistible force and the immovable object right there. Same thing here, and offensive foul. I'm going to say Shaw created the contact.
I got to agree with that one in some ways. Gizzy's been battling. Gizzy picked up 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes here, and there's that time Shaw's going to get the call. They're having a great battle. They're guarding each other at both ends of the floor. Talked to Maximus, or talked to Julius's parents before the game about his hair, and said it was his sister's idea to go a little bit whitish. Okay, a lot whitish maybe.
Julius said the same thing when I talked to him yesterday. Mullins for 2, no. And he has not scored here in the second half. Curry poked away. Zachary on the hustle. He and Ertl, both kids that were football and basketball kids at one point in time.
Yes, Ertl, an outstanding high school quarterback. If didn't know about his history, and after a serious injury that caused him to miss a season, he's decided not to play. And I think he may have a little blood as he's walking over, or something's happening here. The official's one that's causing him to come out of the game.
So Terrence Hayes Jr. comes in to replace him.
As you're watching the game, we're watching it in the same view, so we're not close enough to hear what happened. But I see Jeff Franciosi, who I mentioned in the first half, the trainer, is going to do something to him, and I'm sure they'll get him back in here. But temporarily, he's going to be out of the game.
Yeah, when you play on the junior team, you got to go to the senior end of the court to see the trainer. That's the way it works. Singleton on the blow by, but McGrew with him step for step. Gizzy's shot rejected by Shaw. Barry tried his, but stepped out of bounds when he did. We'll see 4 new players come in for the seniors. Briscoe, Murphy, Barnes, and Kaler all enter. Again, all 12 players healthy and available for the senior All-Stars. Pickett, Kirby, and Cooper, the 3 that have yet to play here in this half. Zachary stays on the floor. Other 4 sub out.
Horn set, yep. Double high post here. Oh, there's got to be a foul on Shaw. If he would have been on the ball side to try to reach over, but he was on the weak side, so his momentum caused that foul there.
Tayshawn Ladd will come in. Barry will have a seat. Ladd 13 points a game for a Ben Davis team that accomplished a lot considering whom they didn't have all year, that being Mark Zachary.
Right.
Mark did not make his true debut until the postseason. He got the nod on senior night and then came right out of the game. Our cameras were there for that on ISC against Crispus Attucks. And Attucks went on February the 26th. Zachary, everything but the finish. But Briscoe kept it alive. Murphy battling for it. And that's going to be a jump ball. And the air will keep it right here.
You know, as Desmond improves and gets better, the shot he took around the basket there, he's got to be going up a little bit stronger. He's been able to do that a lot, but now he's playing guys as tall as he is. And he'll get it, but he's used to just being able to flip it and look real pretty. That one, the little flip just isn't going to work against those big guys.
Well, oftentimes we talk about as a jump shot is missed by Murphy, about guys kind of putting weight on during high school.
He dropped
Desmond lost weight during high school.
Really got his body in good shape between his junior and senior year, yeah.
You know, he may end up putting a little more on once he gets to Kent State. Curry the miss. Barnes leads the break. Barnes all the way down, lay it up and in.
Yeah, he was just an outstanding player for Fort Wayne, and he'll be a good player, I think, for UIndy as well.
Ladd gets the triple, his first basket. And it was kind of point guard by committee this year for Ben Davis, but Ladd emerged as their best shooter. Shot by Kaler is good. Kaler with 9.
Yeah, Smith needed a little bit tighter roll there. He would have been opening. Left too much space there for the defender.
Barnes goes flying.
And here comes Ertl back into the contest.
And he won't play as many minutes tonight as he did on Sunday, but he played 34 on Sunday.
Michael Cooper also checking back in for the senior All-Stars, wearing number 6.
Cooper has yet to score. Drive by Ertl. And Kaler's presence noticeable.
And a foul by Ertl.
Yep.
Just never got ahead of him enough that I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to get him on that hip and try to force him out. And Kaler, with that length, just got past him enough that knocked him to the ground.
Second foul on Ertl. Barnes left it short, but
McGrew with the no block out there. Cost him a
Barnes
bucket.
scores over him. So Barnes with 6. Deep 3, no, but Noah Smith is there, and Noah's taken 3 shots and made all 3. Noah playing for Andy Weaver at Plainfield. Plainfield very well represented this week.
Yes, they were. 4
players, girls and boys combined, playing on the junior all-star team or in the futures game. Hayes, the hustle. He and Murphy know each other quite well from the region. Going at it, and Hayes eventually got him and drew the foul.
Boy, he did a great job on that play, the original knockout, and he just kept the ball alive. He was trying to get that ball to Ertl somehow. And the foul, he drew the foul, so they're going to keep the ball out of bounds on the side here.
McGrew will come in. Miller replaces him.
Haven't really seen Kellen Pickett a lot tonight yet. I'm a little surprised. He was very efficient.
Yeah, he played well when he played briefly in the first half with 7 points. And again, on a 12-player roster,
someone's going to.
There are guys like that.
Yeah.
Ertl lost the handle, but somehow it found Smith. And the broadcaster jinx didn't apply to that shot either. He's 4 for 4.
Oh, boy.
Kaler, the logo.
Boy. Okay.
This is the guy that we kind of saw as a junior.
Right.
We didn't see as much of that as a senior, but we're seeing it tonight. We're tied at 75. Smith for 3. Not that time. Ian Harper Baker lands. Will be a potent 1-2 for the Quakers. Cooper a miss. Murphy keeps it alive. Hayes the rebound. Outlet got deflected. Ladd. He and Miller rivals during the regular season. Combined for the Oop on that one. Barnes blocked by Ladd. Cooper again for 3. Got it.
Cooper
and all 12 seniors now have scored.
Cooper had a great state championship, Greg. He was a key part for the Red Devils and Sharon Wilkerson.
Cooper going to play for Clint Sargent at Wright State. Raiders have always recruited Indiana well. Barnes and Ladd get tangled up. Briscoe, Murphy, off the window, no.
Getting a little sloppy right now.
Ertl. Knew he had to size up Briscoe. Was just trying to wait for Briscoe to commit. Bucket by Ertl. He's got 22. Timeout taken. We will keep it right here. Since we just showed you that Luke Ertl bucket, seems a nice time to mention our friends at 9 Star Connect. Who do the 9 Star, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in the state. In fact, 9 Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. Find out what so many others already know and call 9 Star today. 9 Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? And 9 Star congratulates Luke Ertl of Mount Vernon on his selection as a core member of the Indiana Junior All-Stars.
Juniors with a 1-point lead. Same as they had at halftime here. We're 12 and some change left, but you know, the game got a little sloppy there, but boy, when they get the ball basically to their lead guards, each team, they get good shots. When the forwards, the wings and the forwards kind of bring it up, it gets a little sloppy. And I would tell you, these guys are playing hard against each other. I see some chippiness between the juniors and seniors. There's some bragging rights here, and as you referred to in the last couple of possessions, kids that have played basketball against each other a lot in the regular season and probably in AAU basketball. And they're getting after it. Full court pressure administered by the juniors just to get it in bounds.
Kirby, Pickett. All 12 have played this half for Indiana. And again, you're probably more likely to play all 12 tonight in terms of equal minutes than maybe against Kentucky on Friday or Saturday. Good look by Briscoe. He's got 10.
Yeah, I watched him during the timeout. He's a little fired up. I think he's been a little upset with some of the calls and some of the non-calls, I think.
He's been competitive.
Yes, he has.
Poked away by Kirby, but Kirby going to be called for the foul. Tyrese Jones will check in. When we talk about teams getting downstate, well, Jeffersonville got upstate. Jeffersonville will qualify for like the MIC championship this year. They played so many Indianapolis teams. But you know who else does it every year? South Bend Riley.
Yep. Yep, Alex Daniel, the head coach there, former Bethel assistant. Yep, he goes and tries to play as many different teams with a high-level competition as he can.
He ran into Fishers in the semi-state round this year, did Riley, but you simply can kind of put Riley in your top 20 teams every year at this point. Miller for 3. Briscoe may have gotten a piece of that one too. Kirby, ball knocked away. That was Jones that did that.
Move, gotta move, gotta move. X cut, nothing there.
Cooper fires, no. Miller the rebound.
Little contact after the shot, though.
And Hayes with Cooper down on the ground, and credit to Cooper, hustling
He got back up, yes.
Tracks the rebound. Kirby! Oh! We saw Kirby with some ridiculously impressive dunks this year.
Well, we take a look at this one. I'm just afraid once it got blocked by the rim that he was, but notice he got both feet reestablished inbounds to get the ball back. And I just know Coach Weiniger at Fishers just enjoyed coaching Justin. Justin was great coming off the bench, and you know when the tournament run came, he decided to start him again just for the continuity of the team, and Justin really had a great season.
Baron Walker and Shrewsbury check in. Sports the Game brought to us by the Ed Martin Automotive Group, who want to congratulate Baron Walker, Justin Curry II, Justin Kirby of Fishers for being a part of today's game. When it comes to your next car, Ed Martin's the only name you need to know. Find out more at edmartin.com. Kirby has made all 4 free throws he's taken. Here's Walker, finds some space. No, but Miller is there. Miller with 6.
Boy, we've watched him just improve every year at Lawrence North, from a JV player when we used to watch him to now a really solid varsity starter for the Wildcats. Averaged 13.2 on a really balanced team last year.
Good move by Cooper.
Cooper really asserting himself this second half. He's taken some shots and forced the defense to guard him.
And he and P.J. Douglas really had to step up with Singleton out of the lineup. And frankly, both Singleton and Douglas dealt with injuries throughout the course of the season. Briscoe will come out. Barnes will check out. Singleton and Robinson will check back in. 3-point game for the seniors as we're more than halfway through this second half. Robinson the steal. Taking it his own right. No, Kirby is there and gets the putback. Kirby with 6. The play for Travis Steele at Miami of Ohio. Miller's pull-up is good. Had a chance to talk to Brennan when he was on a recruiting visit at IU Indy during the basketball season. Kirby's 3, and Kirby now with 9. He's got the last 7 for Indiana.
Oh, nice pass.
Miller in traffic, altered.
Surprised he got that ball there, though, Tyrese Jones.
Cooper, 3-point field goal. Though Cooper and Kirby were quiet in the first half, not in half number 2.
No.
Timeout taken. Let's thank our friends at Unranked Hoops. Unranked Hoops is partnering with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBLAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops is dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs. Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts in the fall of 2025. Inside the walls, newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis, Unranked provides opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Check out unranked.com for more information. Sign up for our email list for updates. That's unrnkd.com.
This current group that the seniors have on the floor has really, stretched this lead out to a 9-point contest, and they're really working well. Defensively, they're very, very aggressive. Cooper's been great off the bench here in the second half. And, I've been kind of watching Braylon Mullins on the bench. I'm not sure he's 100%, Greg. He just doesn't look like he's feeling that great. He's stretching a lot. He was holding his groin a little bit ago. And don't know how much we're going to see him tonight with the two All-Star games coming up against Kentucky in a couple nights, starting in Lexington at Lexington Catholic High School. But here you take a look at Stink Robinson headed to Butler. Justin Kirby headed to Miami. Kellen Pickett headed to Wright State. Full court pressure by the seniors. Didn't know Singleton was going to trap that first pass in bounds, but he decided not to.
The trap by Pickett. McGrew. The runner by McGrew is good.
Got it to fall somehow.
Is that now a Halliburton bounce?
I was thinking the same thing, Greg. You beat me to it.
If you're from Boston,
Yeah.
that's a Don Nelson bounce from 69 in Indianapolis. That's a Halliburton bounce going
You're
forward.
not old enough to remember that Don Nelson bounce. I do.
Kirby, no. Pickett couldn't go get it. And McGrew and Singleton tied up. Jump ball, and the arrow will keep it with the juniors. That's the only bounce of a shot like that in NBA history I could think of that anywhere near the importance of the one that Halliburton had.
Yep.
That
true.
was to win an NBA championship in Bill Russell's last game in 69.
Okay, Braylon Mullins back in. So let's see if he's 100%, gets moving here. He got off the game. He got off to a great start. He had 12 at halftime. I think he's only taken one shot this second half. He missed a little fadeaway early in the second half.
He's been sitting for a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, I think part of that is to conserve minutes for Friday and Saturday. Shaw, the star of the first half, off 1 foot. No, but drew a foul on Singleton. And so Shaw will get a couple of more free throws.
Yeah, 3 of 4 on the night from the line so far.
So Shaw and Ertl, each with 20 plus. Senior boys have been much more balanced. Mullins 12, Kaler 12. Senior lead now to 6. He connects there.
Boy's got a nice stroke.
Can average 16 a game for Crown Point. Their stopping point the last 2 years has been Fishers. You'll see them on ISC in the Hall of Fame game on December 23rd, the Hall of Fame tournament. Jump ball is called.
Checking the possession arrow. Looks like it should be going to the.
I don't think it's switched. Yep.
Yep, there you go.
It's the All-Star break for the possession arrow as well. Not in midseason form. Trying to throw the oop to Mullins. Singleton going to work. Draws a triple team. Singleton, the spin, blocked by McGrew. There's Kirby. That is an embarrassment of riches going after that ball on both directions.
Well, they're playing above the rim on that possession. They were attacking the rim, and the defense was attacking the shooters. Kirby's going to get a pair of free throws here. It's 4-4 from the line tonight so far in the game. Made a pair in the first half, a pair so far here in the second half as Brendan Miller comes back in for the Junior All-Stars.
Miller returns. Shaw will have a seat. Kirby with 9, 7 of those coming in the second half. Not only the Indiana tie of Travis Steele on that Miami staff as the head coach, but obviously John Holmes, JR's son. Not to mention Pete Suter had a phenomenal year in Oxford, Ohio.
Former Carmel Greyhound, state champion.
Miami the runner-up in the Mid-American Conference Tournament this year.
And it came down to the last shot. I watched the entire contest against Akron.
And of course.
And John Gross.
Gross and, yeah. Family ties there. Turnover. Miller. Had trouble with the dribble the entire possession. And it will be the seniors' ball. Kaler and Zachary will come back in. Curry and Ladd back in for the juniors as Walker and Jones will have a seat.
I got to appreciate the juniors there. When Mullins had the ball, 3 juniors attacked him from the standpoint of attacking the dribble, and Mullins lost the ball there. A rare turnover by Braylon. And there's an easy turnover by the by the seniors.
I thought you were going here. No, I was going over here.
That's the challenge of an all-star game. You got guys that have not played a lot with each other, a lot against each other. In that situation, Singleton from Southern Indiana, Kaler from Central Indiana.
Hurdle fouled by Mullins. Only 1 plus the bonus coming up for Ertl. So he is sitting on 58 combined points with 7 minutes left to go. Timeout going to be called by Coach Urban and the senior All-Stars. This timeout presented by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. You're going to lots of things like cheering your team on to victory. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Agent Nathan Begley is good at your insurance. That's why Nathan's here to help you think through any question about your auto, home, renter's business, or life insurance. Talk to Nathan in person, online, over the phone at 317-507-7871. You can even stop by Nothing Bundt Cakes before you go see him in his office at 9821 East US Highway 36 in Avon. I'll tell that story in a matter of moments. Start with your local Avon agent, Nathan Begley, and you can insurance together. And again, Nathan wants to congratulate both Noah Smith of Plainfield and Carry-On Barry of Avon. So Nathan and I were doing an event together last Thursday. And he said, one of the great things I have learned about my office is say it's next to Nothing Bundt Cakes, and people will show up. So I told Nathan, I said, all right, I'll mention it like all week long on the ads that you're running on ISC.
And you have, when we did the games on Sunday down in Charlestown.
And now I'm sitting here thinking about Nothing Bundt Cakes the entire time. So Ertl to the free throw line.
I think the juniors still have a run in them. I do. There's plenty of time, 6:58 to go. Plenty of time for this junior group who looks so sharp for most of the game against the Kentucky juniors. A couple players have changed. You know, the core group still there, and another wave of 6 guys join them here to play tonight.
Makes them both. Well, he was our Boilermakers local 374 blue-collar player of the game. He might win it again.
He's got 24 right now with over 6 to go in the game still. I don't really think he'll probably leave the game either. He played big minutes down in Kentucky.
Nice spin by Singleton. But with McGrew lurking, elected not to go up with it. Kaler, though. Miller got him on the arm. Kaler will shoot 2.
Not sure how he got open. So if Brennan just miscommunicated with somebody, but he was going to put that one down until Brennan said no and tried to get all ball. But a little bit of risk there.
Again, Micah Shrewsbury here tonight. Son Nick playing on the Junior All-Stars.
Kaler drains the first.
And obviously Micah has had no problem scouting the state of Indiana for talent to play for the Irish. Jalen Harrelson heading there. Our buddy Ryan Owens, a big part of that.
I was going to say Ryan's on it when it comes to Indiana recruiting.
The ghost with the most, our buddy Ryan Owens. Always been a great supporter of ours on the ISC Sports Network. And one of the all-time good dudes. Seniors up by 7. Blocking foul on Mullins, and this was starting to be called a little more tightly now.
Yeah, Ertl's going to take over here, I think, these last 6.5 minutes. He wants the ball in his hands. Coach Wolfley ran that play earlier in the game for him. And Mullins was not going to give him any space here, so.
And Ertl strikes me as the type that's not exactly giving up any free points when given the opportunity. Connects on both.
He did miss a free throw early in the contest, early in the second half here.
You and I are enjoying our chance to see Luke in action during a summer game. We thought we had that last year with USA Basketball, and the other team they're supposed to play had to forfeit, and they won the 16U championship.
Right.
Foul call, and Mullins will go to the line for free throws. And again, Mullins hasn't scored this half.
Yeah, he has 12 at halftime and has not scored yet. I predicted earlier he was going to have a big night, so I hope the broadcaster's jinx didn't hit him there. But also, he hadn't had a lot of touches. After early in the game, he just hadn't had a lot of touches. And a couple of times he didn't get touches. He just found a way to get loose balls and score them, which is one way to score. You know, when at All-Star games, I would listen to players come over to the sideline and say, Coach, I'm not getting any shots up, okay? So go get an offensive rebound then. Go make a steal on defense. Play better help side and see if you can steal a weak side pass or something. Because right now, everything else is going okay. It's just the way an All-Star game is. Braylon knocks them both down. He's got 14 now.
Had a chance to talk to Dylan Moles yesterday. Of course, an outstanding player here at Greenfield Central, now plays at Marion University. I said, hey, Braylon's in the building. You want a game of one-on-one? He's like, nah, I'm good. I won the last one. I don't need to do that again.
Good hands by Singleton.
Zachary for three. No.
Jump ball.
Tie up. The arrow points the opposite direction. Yeah, Dylan almost sounded kind of like a dad. He's like, I won the last one. We're good with that. Dylan, 2 years older than Braylon.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, Pete and I have a chance to see Marion on a regular basis on the ISC Sports Network. Nice feed, McGrew.
That was a kind of a unique shot, shooting it over his head instead of being able to square up, but he knew he didn't have much time to square up because of the presence of Singleton coming right at him.
Mullins lets Curry fly by. Missed that one. And the rebound corralled by Hayes. Curry with space, and Curry with three.
Yeah, he's not had a lot of touches, but he has 3 threes in the contest for 9 points, and the juniors are right back in a 2-point game with just over 5 to go.
Full timeout taken. We'll again keep it right here. Thanks to our friends at 9-Star Connect. And the 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in the state. In fact, 9-Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. Find out what so many others already know and call 9-Star today. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? And 9-Star congratulates Julius Gizzi of New Pal on being named an Indiana All-Star. And right there on cue is Julius. I really enjoyed talking with him.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yesterday, and I told him, I said, listen, when I saw you with that hair at the Hoosier Gym Classic, I didn't recognize you. Then I saw your jump shot, and I go, that's Julius Gizzi. I know exactly. And not just because it went in, because he kind of shoots it kind of off to the side.
He's got a unique shot. It's not a shot pocket necessarily. He's more in the slingshot guy when I call it.
It's almost he's listening to the ball as you're ready to say swish as it goes in.
Yeah, it's not the most fundamental type shot. But
it goes down every time.
Yeah, he's been talking in that huddle. Jason Spear, one of the assistant coaches from Bloomington High School North. It's a great honor to coach the All-Stars. There you see Chris Hawkins, the outstanding leader of the Crispus Addicts team. And the head coach, Mark Urban, there he pops up there. What a run he's had at Chesterton since taking over the Trojans, and state runner-up finish, and just so competitive sometimes with just the way, there you take a look. And you get Steve Cox also, the special assistant, who's a school administrator in Indianapolis.
Little full court pickup here, but we can drop him back into a man-to-man. So back to a 2-point game. The juniors led by 1 at halftime. They led by as many as 9 in the first half.
They got both teams in the double bonus.
McGrew playing center field. Ertl, the pull, yes sir. Ertl with 28. Well, this was supposed to be the Hancock County homecoming. It just might be for the other guy. Ertl's been the best of the group so far.
And he's guarding Mullins too, so there's the matchup right there.
Zachary gets downhill, misses. Good look-ahead pass. How about that dish from Curry? But there's Kirby doing what he does. Mullins save, couldn't hang on to it. Then he gives the foul. McGrew will shoot free throws.
See the replay. No, didn't need a dribble there. Outstanding block there by Kirby. Boom, right there. Mullins has Miller right behind him, gets a piece of it, and McGrew comes up with it. Braylon has to foul, shooting 2.
Now, you went all Virgil Sweet on McGrew's free throw shooting form to me in a conference on Sunday. So, explain what you're going to see from him coming up in a matter of moments.
Well, the Virgil Sweet style is get that ball stopped right in one spot here.
I'm just saying you were great about breaking down a flaw that you saw.
Oh, he usually misses the second free throw because he doesn't stay straight on the line. He fades back. That one went in, but did you notice what I'm saying? And he's
almost like he's starting to get back down the floor before he releases the shot.
Right, like he's expecting it to go in, which every shooter should expect it to go in, but you have to finish the follow-through in the shot there, Greg. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, he missed. I called it a couple times down there in Charlestown. He missed the second because he just doesn't do that. And we've seen him do that a lot over the years, as much as they've been on the ISC Sports Network.
Jump ball will stay here. So Junior's back in front with 3:56 left to go.
A little moisture on the floor, trying to get the basketball dried off.
You want to thank Jared Manning, athletic director here at Greenfield Central, being so kind to our staff today.
And on that subject, I want to wish Miles Weyer the best of luck.
Yep.
He was hired as the new basketball coach here, the assistant coach and actually head coach in waiting at Fishers at the time.
Whoa.
Oh.
Mullins. Ertl, the unintentional undercut there.
Yeah, but Braylon didn't want any part of it. Notice he wasn't. He had his teammates. He was waiting for his teammates to help him up off the floor. But back to Miles Weyer, outstanding player at Mount Vernon and assistant coach at Fishers the last few years. Really wishing him the best of luck here as he takes over the Greenfield Central program. They lost a lot off this team this year. Mullins had some good teammates, obviously, this year, too.
Mullins left that short, and McGrew the rebound. Juniors have all in a 2-point lead. Foul going to be called.
And again, I made this reference in the first half, Greg. Ertl just has a way of sticking that arm out there and saying, okay, foul me. I'm not going to push off, but I'm going to create the space by using this, what I call the arm guard. And as long as you're not pushing it out there, you're legal to do it. And he just seems to always bait guys to rake him, per se. No pun intended, Greg, rake Straw. But he just kind of gets raked. And he gets to the line a lot, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter. He did miss one earlier tonight.
So 29 for Ertl. He set a record for the junior game. And a technical foul going to be given here. Going to go against Briscoe. So more free throws for Ertl.
Yeah, I'm just going to let the description of what's happening say it for itself there. Ertl goes to the line. So he didn't get to shoot the second one. That was the technical shot, I believe, and now was at the second shot of the 2-shot foul that he didn't get to continue because of the technical called.
We'll see in a matter of moments. Makes them both. So they're going to consider the first free throw or second free throw made, then makes those two. And it will now be, again, college rules on the technical. So now it will be senior team ball instead of the high school technical. So back to a 6-point lead for the juniors. Mullins got it.
High off the glass. Nice shot by Braylon.
First field goal of the half for Mullins. He's got 16. C parts, and Hayes gets his second bucket of the game. Good hands by McGrew.
Yeah, real good.
Again, McGrew. So both teams north of 100. That's not exactly uncommon for this game.
Seniors have 3 timeouts. Julius Gizzi back in the contest.
Deep three, Mullins, no Singleton. Flies in, he's got 11.
No block out. Did a great job of seeking that ball. So I thought Coach Urban would probably call a timeout after this next basket. He'll have 2 timeouts left. The junior all-stars have 1 timeout left, as you can see in our graphics at the bottom right.
Unranked Hoops is partnered with Indy Heat Gym Rats, Indiana's only Nike EYBL AAU basketball program. Unranked Hoops is dedicated to building a better way to do youth basketball through a series of skill development programs and Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Inside the walls of the newly renovated Unranked Hoops factory in Indianapolis, Unranked provides opportunities for both girls and boys youth hoopers to learn the skills needed for long-term development and success. Check out unranked.com, that's UNRNKD.com, and sign up for email updates. Stay tuned, we'll have the Boilermakers Local 374 Player of the Game at the conclusion of our broadcast.
Okay, expect full court pressure by the seniors. They've got a pretty good group out there. They've got some good length with Singleton and Kaler. Got quickness out there with Stink Robinson, and Gizzi will probably double any pass that comes in. Denies Ertl the ball. No run and jump. I thought there were. Kirby with great hands has a steal, and the seniors have it again.
Wondering the last time the juniors beat the seniors. Don't have to go back that far. 2 years ago at Cathedral. In fact, that was a junior sweep that night. Junior boys won 105-100. Kaler asked for a timeout and got it.
Yeah, good call there. Big possession right there. They had a chance to cut it into, it's a 2-possession game right now. You got to make sure you get a good shot or draw a foul here if you're the seniors.
And this is the 54th time the juniors have played the seniors since 1996. Seniors have won 42. Seniors have lost 11. This is now the 7th year that we have played this game just 1 time between these teams.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's just tough to get kids longer than a week nowadays with the college commitments that the coaches want them to have. You mentioned Mullins leaves Monday or will be at UConn on Monday.
Others will leave on Sunday, frankly.
Yeah. So Saturday night, enjoy it. Kiss the floor when you're at Conseco Field, or what's it called now? Gamebridge Field. I'm sorry.
Enough.
Showing my age. At least I didn't call it Deer Creek.
You're referencing, from the last NBA Finals 25 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But kiss that floor, and then they're off to college. I know Stink Robinson missed practice tonight. Butler had an official practice with their team tonight, and Stink got the pass because Thad Matta appreciates and understands how important the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Series is and the All-Stars in general. Mullins on the corner, shoots it. Scores it. No, he got blocked. Wow. Nice defense by the seniors. Brennan Miller and McGrew both kind of double team and blocked it.
Curry got it. Frankly, got grabbed.
Yeah.
Robinson knew he was beat. Curry scores anyway. 6-point lead for the juniors with 2 minutes left to play.
Curry now in double figures with 11. He's had a nice game tonight.
Robinson up and under, yes. You've heard me say this just a couple of times. Nobody gets downhill like Nick Robinson.
Oh, Ertl had him.
5-second call.
Yeah, they switched, and Luke Ertl was open, but he was flared out to the baseline in the corner, and Curry just didn't see him there. So good pressure put on by the seniors, down 4. Switched up on Mullins there. Miller's now on Mullins.
Off of Miller.
Yeah, and then Miller switched out onto Cooper, and I think we got a foul away from the ball maybe.
Yep.
A grab. Grabbed his jersey.
So there 2 free throws for Kaler.
There have been some jersey grabbings that I've noticed.
This has been feisty.
Yeah.
This has been competitive.
Yeah. There's been some good trash talk on the floor here. Hopefully in good spirits always.
In this day and age, everybody knows everybody in terms of AAU basketball. Kaler connects. If you are looking for a particular bright spot for the seniors tonight, to me, it's him.
Yeah, he's played well tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Drained a 3 to open the contest and just played really, really steady overall. Mark Zachary back in the lineup for probably defensive pressure. Okay, Cooper gets that spot if he wants it.
Chance to make it a 2-point game. Misses. Yep, we'll stay here. Yep.
Soft Brendan Miller
touched
it
last.
Yep. Offense, defense here. Mullins back in for the offensive segment. Ooh.
Zachary a slip. Foul will be called.
I'm just hoping he's not hurt. Boy, having 2 artificial hips, I can see those hips hurting. See the replay. Curry does have his arm down in the middle of his waistline, and I'll leave it like that. Zachary's going to shoot a pair of free throws. Double bonus for both teams.
So Zachary with 5 points. And got the friendly bounce.
The shooter's roll, the backspin.
Kirby and Mullins out.
So you can expect full court pressure. Even with a make, he's only going to be down 1.
Doesn't get the second, but Singleton.
Foul on the floor. McGrew got him on the floor, I believe.
Yep.
So Trey now will go to the line. He'll have a chance to put the juniors up 2 possessions if he makes both these free throws.
Singleton to shoot 2. And misses that. And misses a second.
Yeah.
Miller the rebound. But Cooper lurking. Kaler got it. Tied at 108. Kaler was 17.
High post screen for Ertl by Miller, most likely. Nope. Passes
Curry
down.
for the lead. No. Great rebound by McGrew. He and Kirby get tied up. Won't give up the basketball. Hopefully McGrew's all right. Underneath out of bounds to the juniors. You don't think guys take this seriously? I encourage you to watch the last couple of minutes.
No fake. No fake.
This has been played like a conference rivalry. Miller, Kaler waiting, and Singleton the rebound.
Oh, and off his, right off his thigh. Curry slapped down on the ball, and Singleton didn't have that ball out in front of him, so it was right next to his body, went off his thigh, and the juniors get a break and keep the ball back.
Another timeout taken. We'll take it with them. 53.8 seconds left to go. We're tied at 108. You're watching on ISC.
Hamilton Southeastern is now welcoming students outside of our district.
Whether your child dreams of excelling in the classroom,
exploring in STEM, thriving in arts, or competing in athletics, HSC has it all.
Small class sizes, top-ranked educators, and a focus on academic excellence
makes HSC the perfect place to learn and grow. Apply now through April 1st for priority consideration.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, our students excel in welcoming safe, state-of-the-art facilities. A traditional public school district, Lawrence Township boasts a 95% graduation rate. On the court and in the arts, our students excel. Join the Lawrence Township family, where learners thrive, surrounded by values that resonate with home. Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future.
Back to action. Foul called against the seniors. Free throws coming up. It's Curry. They'll go to the line and shoot two. Curry with 11 points. And Curry played in Sunday's game as well. Had 10 in that one. And Curry misses. Both teams have left some points at the line late. Cooper checks out. Mullins checks back in.
Juniors are out of timeouts too, so that may play big here in these last 51 seconds plus.
Made free throw by Curry. He's got a dozen 1-point game. Zachary all the way down. Zachary with 8.
Now what do we have? A warning on the delay game. When I say that, if he touched the ball after the ball went through, he's just telling the guys leave the ball alone after the ball goes through the net. Full court man pressure by the seniors. Up 1. Don't want to foul. It's a double bonus. Look for Ertl to take a shot, I would think.
You were saying? Ertl misses. And then Ertl and Cooper sprawling for it. And a timeout called by the seniors.
Well, I almost think they would have played it out. I think McGrew is going to get called for a foul there on Kirby, but either way, that's the last timeout by either team, still with 28.9 seconds to go.
Not your average all-star game, is it?
No, these guys really are playing. They've got, besides bragging rights, probably just personal rights. You got something to prove, all of them do. Had a technical in the game, which you usually don't see in an all-star game.
No.
You hope not to, nor do you want to see it, but had a technical in the game just because of the physical play and disagreements on stuff.
Get a reminder, Indiana plays at Kentucky on Friday night. That is at Lexington Catholic High School. We will not have that one for you on ISC. We will have the Saturday games at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Tip time for the girls' game is at 5 o'clock. Jan Bozier joins me for that. Pete has track and field state finals duty this weekend.
I do. We got the boys state finals on Friday with the unified sports Saturday morning and early afternoon, and the girls state finals, and it'll be at North Central High School this year. Longtime IU host did not get it this year. It's at North Central. Looking forward to that. Now back to basketball here. You've got It's a spot violation. He won't be able to run the baseline. The juniors have, I think they have as many of their best defensive players out there. I see Ertl on the bench, so look for them to get a trap when the ball comes in bounds. There's a hold. Mullins is being held big time. Yeah, by Barry. So he'll go to the line and shoot 2 free throws on the double bonus.
Kaler's 17 leads the seniors. Mullins with 16, Kirby with 11, Singleton 11, Briscoe with 10. And Ertl again, the breakout star of the juniors. He's got 32. Shaw with 22.
Yeah, Ertl waiting to check back in after this first free throw for offense.
Both teams are out of timeouts. Mullins connects. Seniors matching up immediately.
I was surprised they haven't seen Dikembe Shaw much late in the second half.
Mullins makes them both. It's a 3-point game.
Shaw had 19 at halftime, but doesn't have a field goal the second half. Oh, nice pass.
Miller got it. 1-point game.
Got to give a foul or trap. Singleton pass. Oh,
right idea.
Curry with the hands.
Throws it up for McGrew. And McGrew. And we'll stop the clock. McGrew with the bucket. He's got 13. Then McGrew probably should have been called for delay a game there.
Yeah, and they have one. They could have done that and tried to delay the game from that standpoint. Kaler will throw it in bounds, down 1.
Singleton will go. Singleton blocked by McGrew. Ertl with the rebound. Kaler gives the foul. And again, things you normally say in the All-Star game.
Wow.
If they hit both free throws, if you're the juniors, do you give the foul here with 5 seconds to go?
I do. I do. You can pull those guys over and tell them that right now. But yeah, I think you do. And you know our friend Bill Fenlon strongly believes in that.
Took the text from Bill watching in Florida in 3, 2, 1. Authored the paper about the subject. So Ertl to the line.
Boy, what a wacky couple minutes, Greg.
He has scored 68 points combined in 2 games.
That was a great block by Kai McGrew. Wow.
Connects again. I think Ladd will get Ertl if he makes the free throw. He does.
And maybe he has told Ladd, go foul and don't let them get a 3 off. 5.1 seconds, a lot of time.
Yeah, they're going to foul. Yeah, they're going to foul once they get to midcourt.
They have to let the ball come in bounds, and if you can get across the 10-second line. Yeah, so give Zachary 2 shots to cut it to 1. He'll probably try, he'll obviously make the first or try to make the first, and then the second one will probably go for the miss and see if they can get a tip in. So expect maybe Pickett to be in there on the second free throw or someone taller.
Zachary makes. So this is the one obviously you would think. Here comes Robinson in.
I just think there's not enough time left to let the ball come in bounds and try to make a steal. That's just me personally. But they're going to, it looks like, because they took Kaler out, who's got great length. They're going to try to let him make it and then let him make it. I'm sure Mark's trying.
He does.
Okay. Steal the inbounds. Stranger things have happened. Hold right there. Yep.
So Miller will shoot 2.
I love this. This reminds me of 5-star basketball camp. We had the situation tournament on the night before the championship game, the next day at camp, and we had situations. And you were set, you're down 3 with 4 seconds to go, and how you're going to play this out. And it was really fun. Coaches really got into it, and the players did too.
Miller with 11. Makes them both. No foul here. Mullins.
Ooh, it looked good from where we were sitting for a second.
But the junior all-stars beat the seniors tonight 117 to 114. Well, let's get right to it. Time to name our blue-collar player of the game, and for a second time in 4 days, it's going to be Luke Ertl. Luke with 34 after having 36 against Kentucky in that game on Sunday. Become a Union Boilermaker. Be on your way to a great career. Find out more when you log on to local374.org. Pete, final thoughts on this one?
Well, good lesson for the seniors to learn. I mean, they got themselves back, they got themselves back in the game after being down one and being down a lot in the first half, but just made some errors towards the end of the game that allowed the juniors to play a little bit, I don't want to say harder. Both teams were playing real hard, but just a little bit more intelligent play by the juniors down the stretch. And a kind of a tough night for Braylon Mullins. He got off to a great start and just didn't quite get going. He's on the bench a lot. I think he didn't feel very good, quite frankly.
Tonight's game presented in part by the Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know, by Galitko and Daly. Work Injury Lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. By Hamilton Southeastern Schools, open to students outside of the HSE district. Learn more at hseschools.org. By Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance in Avon. Call Nathan Begley today and let's insurance together. By 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet, who knew? By Unranked Hoops, Indy's first Euro-style basketball academy that starts this fall. Check out unrnkd.com. And by Lawrence Township Schools. Learn more about Lawrence Excellence at ltschools.org. Again, we'll see these teams in action on Saturday night. Girls at 5 o'clock, boys to follow from Gamebridge Fieldhouse. 4 days in front of the NBA Finals. You can check out the World Series of high school basketball. For Pete Smith and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rankstraw. Night field with the boys game 117-114. Thanks for watching Indiana All-Star Week on ISC.